should go this way.
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes. Good morning. Okay. Good morning, you guys. Good morning.
Howdy, howdy.
Oh, I'm on Top Chat. Oh. How's everybody doing? Grayscale, I'm so happy to see you. All right. I always catch myself later and I'm always looking to the right. All right. I do not like the new setup of Facebook. Don't like it.
Wow, what's going on with it?
It looks like I'm froze on Facebook. Oh, goodness. Okay, Diana, hold on.
All right, sweetie. Well, I'm going to jump off because I got stuff to do here with the pups.
Okay, I love you.
Take Mama out.
Myra said, good morning, Sandy. And Grayscale said, morning, Sandy.
Good morning. Hi, Tony.
You guys, she has new puppies.
Yeah, I do.
The puppies.
And there's a video I did last night that you can see the puppies on.
So you guys go to Sandy's last night and see those puppies.
Yep. All right, guys. I love you, and we'll see you later today.
Bye, Sandy. Bye. You guys, I am so sorry that I have not been doing right, I guess.
All right, sweetie. Well, I'm going to jump off because I got you, and we'll...
Rookie move. Oh, you guys, it just keeps coming. It just keeps on coming, you guys. Good morning, Diana.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, y'all. How are you?
You guys, I have 2 funerals to go to Friday.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
One is Kevin's Aunt Nancy on his dad's there were 2 brothers, 2 sisters. And of course, his uncle died right after his brother last year. Now Aunt Nancy, her husband's passed. And then you guys, my niece that has battled addiction and been on the street since she was 12 and she's 38, she passed away from fentanyl and heroin and passed out in the bathtub and drowned. So you guys, I'm okay today. I had to tell my daughter yesterday, she's in rehab. She don't get phone calls, even though she did get the call. Tell my husband happy birthday, tell her daddy. Happy Father's Day. But I called the counselors and asked them how better to handle it. And so there was.
How long is she in rehab for?
9 months.
Good. She needs it. You know, what happens in rehab, years ago, I worked at a very, very famous, and you'd all know it, rehab in California. And one of the problems was people would come in for 4 to 6 weeks. Sometimes they would leave earlier. They would relapse. And you need that longer period. You have to go beyond the 21-day breaking a habit because it's very powerful. So it has to be a life change, not just a habit change. It has to be a total lifestyle change.
Yes. Good morning, Leticia and Ben. Well, you know, I left her in jail 3 months. Then she went to a 28-day program. And then what they do after they finish that, they try to place them somewhere.
That doesn't usually work.
And so Yeah. So she got in this Christian one, Genesis, and they don't get phone calls, no internet. It's a very Christian based one. Um, they don't for 90 days. The only way you could talk to them is through letters, and you know what? I think that's good. I
Oh, absolutely. We have forgot letter writing.
Yes,
Letter writing is so powerful.
it seems like it's more personal,
It is.
but she did get in the streets with my niece, and which made my niece angry because she felt like, oh, Ben is in the Grand Canyon, you guys. He's on a motorcycle.
Hey,
He
the Grand
is
Canyon.
going through the states on his motorcycle.
Oh, how exciting. Oh my gosh, Ben. Wish I was on back of the motorcycle with you.
So they, my niece was very upset that Tiffany was out there. Uh-oh. All right. Watch the chat because this is that place Tiffany's at. So I need to take this.
Okay. Well,
Hey, Keith.
good morning, Letitia. Good morning. Thank you. I'll tell you a story about my glasses, okay? Now, for the last couple of weeks, I've been wearing no glasses. And yesterday I went to my eye doctor and I decided to go back to wearing glasses again. And long story short, what happened was I don't like wearing glasses. I'm 64 years old, and I started wearing glasses at 62 when I went back to college because I was reading so much. And so I had decided not to wear glasses. And
back this morning,
and so I had just decided not to wear glasses, but I had the strain, so I can actually see what people are saying. Like Buying Space says, "Good morning, Letitia," and then Letitia says, Norgus and Diana. So I can read without glasses, but I have to kind of, squint a little bit. And so I went to the eye doctor yesterday, and he told me that I was in the top 5% of my age group for vision. So because I was considering having that LASIK surgery for people over 60. And so he said, no, you don't need it. Maybe years to come you might, but not right now. But he did suggest that I go to dollar store. Now, these are my prescription glasses for reading. Not that I need them. I can read without them, but I prefer to now wear them. So I was just telling a story while you were on the phone about my glasses. Are you there, Norgus?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I just didn't want, I knew that was a personal call, so I kind of started talking.
oh, I thought I was muted, but that's good. That's good.
Yeah, you weren't muted, so I kind of talked over you.
He said she handled it pretty good. The news when we gave it to her yesterday of what has happened with my niece. So that was the facility, and he wanted to call me back and let me know. So I guess you guys heard the scripture that my daughter put on the back of one of her letters. What you see scrolling is a scripture, is Psalms 118:17, but she put Psalms 118:5 and 17 on the back of a letter. The first says, "In my distress I prayed to the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free." Then 17, "I will not die. Instead, I will live to tell what the Lord has done." So, you guys, that she did that on the 14th, not knowing what was going to happen. So I do pray that she lives on for her to tell the story, because we've lost 3 family members through addiction.
Drugs, it is so rampant everywhere. Now, I've been very fortunate with my 3 children. They haven't even ever touched alcohol or a cigarette. Well, I think my oldest son touched a cigarette one time and he got sick from it, so he never did it again.
No, I never did.
Yeah, but you know what? It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Porno. It's not just drugs. It's porno addiction. It's drug addiction. there's so many addictions out there. And, you know, as older adults, many of us suffer from different kinds of addictions, like food addictions. You know,
That's what my sister said. She said, you know, there's food addiction.
There's food addictions. I mean, there are people that are struggling terrible with food addictions. So there's all kinds of addictions, gambling addiction. You know, yeah, people gamble their house away.
That tears families apart.
Yes, it does. There's many kinds of addiction. So, you know, you have to find the right group. And, you know, one of the things, I think most of these groups do not work unless they're Christian based. And one I'm going to recommend, not that I have any personal knowledge of it inside of it, but I went to the church for many years. It's a very famous preacher. His name is Jensen Franklin, Free Chapel in Gainesville, Georgia. And they have a special place for people with addictions. And I mean, they have a very high rate of success, and it's a fabulous church. And I think it's free. I'm not sure, but I think it's free if you can get in. But it's a Free Chapel in Gainesville, Georgia.
Oh, Myra, my brother-in-law, yes, Kevin's brother. I do count him.
Yes.
Good morning, Hetty. But my nephew, my sister's son, he ended up in a coma, come back from the coma, but it killed something up in, you know, an ability. So he ended his life because of that. So it's still related to that.
Yeah, drugs, even once you're off of it, it takes a while. You know, I always tell there's virtual addiction. You know, one of the problems now I think we face is that a lot of these, big money makers, I guess, whatever you want to call them, figured they couldn't get a lot of people with drugs because everybody is now aware that drugs are bad. Well, they figured they could get people with the internet. And you look at our younger generation, especially, and even some of the older generation, they can't get off the internet. Yeah. They're on it for hours and hours. I know two people in particular that spend 14 hours, 16 hours a day, maybe even longer on just between the games and social media. It's a sickness. It's become a sickness.
Good morning, The Truth. He said, find God, find strength, find Christ, find grace. Find these wonderful women and find a smile. God bless. God bless you, The Truth. God bless you. And also, Leticia said a money addiction. Yeah, some people are, they just go overboard.
Yep. Now, I did a video called Addiction. I have not put it up. It's in my queue with hundreds of videos in the queue. I put fresh videos up daily, but in case I can't get to a fresh video, make one that day, I put one up. Well, I even put them up late at night from the queue. I think today I'll put up the one called Addiction. I did that maybe a month ago, and it's very powerful. And addiction can come in any kind of form. And if we really think about it, we all have an addiction to something. We just don't notice it because it's not so major. Some people are addicted to television. Some people are addicted to I think what's really a bad addiction now is the internet, is the virtual games and the internet.
Yes.
I think it's taken over.
There are people that they will sit and not even work.
Yep.
Leticia, Traci came through her surgery yesterday. She's sore today. That it took 5 incisions to take the lead out and the old pain stimulator that was inside of her. She goes back this next Monday for the other one. Now, the other one won't be as invasive as the first one because they had to be very meticulous to pull that lead up and not injure the spinal cord. So,
is that for Traci?
Yes.
Okay. You know what I love about your channel, Darlene, is that you bring a place that people can come and lay down their problems, whether it's addiction, whether it's health issues, no matter what it is. It's wonderful. Not all channels can you do that. My channel is an everything channel. You can, pretty much, talk about anything, but your channel specializes. It's sort of like going to your grandma's and being able to tell her all your problems.
Good morning, Neville. Good morning.
Good morning, Neville. We have Buying Space here. We have The Truth. We have Letitia.
Eddie.
Let me go up here a little bit. We have Hedwig, David, and you have amazing people that come in this stream, and I love it. I
do, and you guys all make me feel so much better.
Thank you, Neville.
Hey, Land Shark, that's Craig.
Craig. Welcome, Land Shark. Welcome. Letitia says, "Oh my, I know the doctors have to focus on the surgery itself." I did another video, and it's about people, life after 60. I do a lot of them after 60, but it was talking mainly about health. And, I've been a very healthy person, minus one incident in my early 50s where I ran into a wooden hanger and it knocked me to the ground and all that. But minus that, I've been very healthy. But what I realized in our 60s, our doctor becomes our best friend. And by that, I mean is that there are things that we holistically can fix. We can take care of our health. We can run, we can exercise, we can juice, we can do all that. But there are things that are out of our hands and that we do need medical intervention for. And that's what right doctors are there for. But the key to it is you've got to get a right doctor. There are doctors that I would say, I'm just guessing at this, but I think probably 50% of the doctors are misdiagnosed. And so you have to find doctors that are accurate, informed, and know what they're doing. And there are great doctors.
Well, when there's open enrollment, I'm changing mine. I haven't been with her long. She's a nurse practitioner, and I don't like some of the things she says. She just doesn't. It seems like she just says things to hurry up and talk and get out of the room. And
yeah. Well, you know what I do? I make this suggestion. Okay, now there's a couple things, and I talk about this in my videos. You got to have someone with you. Don't go to the doctor alone. I don't care if it's your kid. Put them in the chair next to you. They don't have to say a word. When you have a second person in the room that's not you, you can't be your own advocate. Okay, I'm a great advocate. There's none better than me, but I can't be my own advocate. When take your husband, take your cousin, take your brother, take your neighbor, let them sit in the chair and say nothing. Okay.
My son would not have been good had he been in there.
Yep. Have someone go with you because they treat you differently. That's number one. Number two, always go with a list of questions. Number three, don't let them out the door. I just go on and on and on. Do I take up their time? Absolutely. But I get what I want. Beforehand, I do all my research. And I have great doctors. And I want to tell you a quick story about the doctor I fired. 11 years ago, 10 years ago, when I ran into the wooden hanger, and I told that story in a video called Brain Aneurysm. I got very, very sick after, about 2 months after, 3 months after, but they didn't connect the dots. And I'd run forcefully into a wooden hanger. It knocked me to the ground. And I should have probably died or at least lost my eyesight. And neither happened. But I began to develop symptoms, and we didn't know where the symptoms were coming from. I went to the doctors. My kids were little at the time. And so my husband was up here because we live in 2 southern states. And I was down there, and I was raising my children, and I began to get very, very sick. And they couldn't put it together. So the doctor told me I had menopause. I said, this is not menopause. Then he tried to lead me that I was having a panic attack. I said, I've never had a panic attack. I have nothing to panic over other than being sick. I said, there's something wrong with me. Long story short, I got sicker and sicker and sicker. I was bumping into walls. I ripped my arm open because I ran into something. I lost my balance. I couldn't breathe. I went numb, my arms, my legs, everything. Couldn't figure it out. So I ended up going to the emergency room after my mother had come to me in a dream. My mother passed, and she told me I had a lesion. She used the word lesion. Well, lesion usually means cancer. And she said, you have a lesion on the left side of your brain. So I went to the emergency room and I said, I think I'm having a stroke, because I knew if I didn't say that, they wouldn't see me. I think I'm having a stroke. So the doctor, I said, my mom said I have a lesion on the left side of the brain. He said, who's your mom? I said, she passed to the other side. So he put me in a CAT scan over Thanksgiving. And I came back, and the woman kept saying, what did your mom say? While I was in the CAT scan, because, you have the little speaker there.
Yeah.
And I came back into the emergency room, and he said, ma'am, your mom was right. You have a lesion on the left side of your brain, but it's a broken blood vessel. And so I had a broken blood vessel, and I had been losing blood and in my brain, and I could have died. Most people died. 60% of people died. And I lived, and I was a walking brain aneurysm, as they called it. And so I had 16 doctors prior to that, doctor number 17. 16 doctors misdiagnosed me or couldn't figure it out. But that first one, I fired him. After 5 years, I fired him because I could have lost my life.
Well, for years, I've been telling the doctors that that's right. Leticia said, I think only people know how they feel, and doctors only go by what people tell them and rule the symptoms. But I've been telling doctors since I was still working that I would feel like I was passing out from my waist down. I said, that's the only way I can tell you what my legs feel like. That I have to sit down real quick, or I'll fall down, or I'll pass out. So they just kept saying, they just kind of dismissed it. And I finally, when I said there was something on the first heart test that I was monitored for a month on the machine thing I had to keep hooked on me, and it said I had a hole in one of my valves. And I said, can that be what's causing me to pass out? Because something's not right. So they sent me to another doctor, and I said, I read that in my report. I never got back with that doctor, but I said, I read that in my report. So she sent me to another heart doctor, which was great. And they did test and said, by all rights, my heart looked okay. Well, they did that table tilt. When they did the table tilt test, that's when they found out that my blood pressure bottoms out. And that's why one time they looked really concerned when I was doing that test, because I couldn't feel my fingers. You're strapped in, they raise you up straight. I couldn't feel my fingers. I couldn't even think. They were asking me questions. And of course, that was part of what they do. I couldn't remember my great-granddaughter's name. I could not remember. I absolutely could not remember my animals' names. And I got to where I couldn't talk. And then I broke out in a sweat. They had to put a fan on me and dab my head. Hey, Dee Dee. Dee Dee, I'm talking about a tilt table. You're laying down. They hook you to monitors. They hook you to a blood pressure cuff. Then they strap you down and they stand you up gradually. The girl said it was a Frankenstein table. There's two in there. They stand you up, and then you got to stand there for so long. See, that was my problem. I'd get up and then I'd walk a little bit, and that's when everything would go where I would pass out.
Did you have to have surgery?
No, there was nothing they can do, because my blood pressure would go so low that what goes to your legs and comes back up, it was pooling at my legs, and my brain was telling my heart there's no blood pumping. So of course my heart would race trying to catch up. and then it would make me pass out. So they finally, he said, it's in the brain.
Yeah.
And Kevin said, well, I could have told you that, that I wouldn't write. But I don't know, Craig, what the name of it is. They didn't say. And also, my body does not produce, I don't have the salt intake. So he said, eat a lot of salty potato chips, but don't tell nobody a heart doctor told you that. And he looked at my husband and said, but not you. And I said, I can't eat potato chips. Kevin says she threw every one of those away. We've been on a diet.
Delusion Dispeller says, I can't ride roller coasters. You know what? I cannot even ride the teacups at Disneyland.
I never could.
I get dizzy.
What is See, they really didn't call it anything. But I have to buy regular table salt, not the light salt that I use for Kevin. Or I drink pickle juice. I said, can I drink pickle juice instead of potato? I said, I don't want potato chips. You guys, I have 2 more pounds and I will have lost 20 pounds.
Yay!
So, yeah. So I'm eating more fruit, and I go today and get me some more strawberries and blueberries. And
John, let me tell you something that I did. I should have brought it over here from my refrigerator. Yesterday, I do all my juicing and then I put it in the refrigerator so I don't have to juice every day. And because I drink juice. And one of the things I want to give you a suggestion: go buy yourself a watermelon. Okay, eat your watermelon, like you normally do, but don't throw away your rinds. Okay, everyone throws away.
Oh, I love eating on the rind.
But take your rinds and run them through a juicer, and you will get amazing, delicious juice. I have a whole container of watermelon rind juice. You will love it. You will love it.
Oh, yeah. All right. Let me see if I can find the pictures of me and Kevin the before. Let me see. All right.
And let's see, who was it that said their daughter? Okay, somebody, the automatic system, right? The automatic system. It's really weird. What our automatic system controls and doesn't control.
Okay, let me see if I can share. Screen share this picture of me and Kevin. I usually. Let me see if it's this one. Yeah. Okay. That's me and Kevin in April when we were at MawMaw's margarita party.
Wow.
And then.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. But let me show you the one we took at my sister-in-law's. Let me change that one. Oh, no, wrong thing. All right. Now this is both of us at my sister-in-law's skating party.
Woo! You both look great.
We both lost. So, and Casey has. So he's lost like 20-something pounds as well. So,
You'll find too, I don't know what your blood pressure runs, but when you lose weight, your blood pressure will usually normalize. For me, this morning I took it and it was 108/64. Now I take no medicines. And
no, mine was always that way, Diana. Mine would be sometimes 98/50.
Yep.
And they never seemed to think that was low. So I've never had high blood pressure. So what would happen, it didn't take much for mine to bottom out. I never thought that I had blood pressure that low. But now I have to take a pill to raise it. And she did tell me to cut that in half since I'm having spikes of high blood pressure. She said to do it in half. So I'm taking a half in the morning, half at night. But you know what? The way we started on the weight loss thing was my sister-in-law decided she was not going to have diabetes and have the same problems as MawMaw had.
Yeah.
So she got into, I'm trying to think the name of it. I always say it wrong. Optavia. They have the bars and they have shakes and stuff like that. So Kevin started and he lost 20 pounds right away. Women lose it slower. And he can't have fruit. But see, I tweaked it. When he said we was going to do this, I'm like, great. No more potato chips. I can buy what I want to. So I buy fresh fruit. And then I will freeze some of the strawberries, freeze some of the blueberries. So when I do my shakes in the blender, I use those. Or if I want some, I'll just go to the refrigerator, get out a couple frozen blueberries and eat them. So when a doctor one time said, it doesn't cost more to eat right, I said, it does. Have you looked at how much fresh fruit and vegetables are? He said, if you can buy a bag of potato chips, you can buy.
Absolutely. Do you know, like a bag of Doritos a big bag is like $4.
Yes.
And, you can get a wonderful, healthy foods for $4. And people use that as an excuse. And what they're looking at is they're looking at quantity over quality. We don't need that much food. And
we're not going to eat a bag this big of strawberries or blueberries at one time. And it just took that my husband, he wanted takeout, or he had to have potato chips and he had to have this at the house. Well, when we got rid of all that, even Casey don't like eating out. It just bloats him. Yeah. So he buys his pre-made salads, and he came in there late on the bed the other day, and I said, ain't it great that your dad went on a diet and me and you get to eat what we want? And we got laughing about it. I said, because I love to do the shakes with a little bit of the fruit in it.
Mm-hmm. Now, I use stevia. Stevia is an Amazon leaf, so it's natural. It's not a fake sugar. It's not sugar, but it tastes sweet. And it has no calories in it. So I use stevia, and I get my stevia from Aldi's, because Aldi's has it really inexpensive compared to other stores. Stevia, I don't use white sugar.
She said she tasted watermelon with mustard and it wasn't too bad. Dee Dee did. I don't know about that. But Dee Dee has lost a lot, because I've been seeing your videos, Dee Dee. She asked, are you related? Let me find it. I don't know who that is. She said, are you related to Molly?
Who, you or me?
No, you.
Oh, me. You know what? I know Molly Golightly, her channel. I don't know her personally. I know her channel, but no, I'm not related to her at all. Yep. I've been on her channel though quite a few times.
All right. I have to find that. Oh, okay. Well, I see that.
So, I think that one of the things that's growing, I talk a lot about over 60, and I think that we have to realize that there are going to be health issues that are likely to come about over the age of 60. And so we have to have right doctors in place. And this is what I suggest again. Always take someone with you, even if it's your grandma that sits there and she doesn't say a thing. Always have someone with you.
Casey wouldn't have been good because she told me, she said, well, if you'd get out and start walking every day, you would feel better and you'd be able to walk even further the next time. And I looked at her. I said, I was walking around in my yard the other day and had to sit down real fast because I felt like I was going to pass out. She said, well, if you would walk more, first of all, my heart doctor already told me, no, you do not need to be walking too far. Like, what do I do if I get a mile up the road and pass out? So, I mean, but she's telling me that. I said, look, the only exercise in which is free for me now is I can go to our sportsplex if they have the pool open and they have a lifeguard. I can go there, and I think I'm going to buy me a bathing suit, and I think at least twice if it ain't nothing but twice a week, if I can find me a shower cap, because I don't want to dye my hair out with the chlorine. Yeah, Dee Dee, they make you feel like, but that's how they make me feel, Dee Dee, like I'm lazy, that I don't want to do anything. I try. And if I do try to do laundry, if I do pick up a laundry bag, well, then that blows out my shoulder again. I hate not being able to do things like I used to. And me and Denise and Sandy were talking about that this morning.
Letitia, thank you for being here. Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.
And Letitia, get you some glasses. Oh, Dee Dee, I have some pictures and video of us filling in our pool. Yes, see, Monique knows how much I do around the house. They get on to me.
Yep.
But, we started filling in our pool because, the maintenance, and then it's just totally, we'd have to redo the whole thing. Well, I don't feel safe enough to go out there if Casey's working and Kevin's in the shop. He's working across the street. And that's what I told her. She said, well, why are you filling it in? Why don't you use that? I said, because I don't want to be out there on the float and pass out.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. And she's looking at me like, well, there's nothing wrong with you. You have the heart report. You have my rheumatoid reports. You should know. You should know what is wrong with me. And that makes Casey was so mad. Yeah. And when I was telling somebody what she said, Kevin was mad. He said, are you serious?
Well, I will tell you that matter of fact, when I scheduled a doctor's appointment with an ophthalmologist, it's a very good ophthalmology place. And the lady said, do you have a particular doctor in mind? And I said, I only want your best doctor. So in other words, I'm kind of a prima donna when I go to the doctors in a good, polite way. You've got to be, let me tell you a little story. Many years ago, I was a nurse. I am a nurse, technically. I haven't worked as a nurse in many, many, many years. But one of the things I learned early on as a nurse, the squeaky wheel got all the oil, as Grandma would say. And so when I go to the doctors, I'm a squeaky wheel.
Good morning, Denise. That is Denise A. Anything is possible. We call her Denise A. And
welcome, Denise.
All right, I am putting that in so I can look it up.
But I believe in you've got to take care of your body. You've got to do your part. And then sometimes you have to have a medical intervention in some situations. And so I believe it's a combination. And that's why I think over 60, it's very, very important, especially, or even earlier, to have great doctors.
Ben said he has his tent rolled up, the bike packed up, and he is about to ride. Right on, Ben, and be safe.
Hey, Ben, enjoy it. You know, we were at the Grand Canyon and we took our motorhome there and our 3 little kids at the time. And it was wonderful. Just enjoy. You know, life is meant to have fun and it's meant to be enjoyed. And so when you're able to enjoy life, go for it.
He's going through states. He's on a long distance bike ride with some more people.
Yep.
But yeah, Casey would have been very angry because even my sister-in-law now says she can't stand that nurse practitioner because she feels like she was part of the reason MawMaw didn't make it. She so much misdiagnosed MawMaw, and MawMaw would come in with something. She'd say, "Oh, that's just old age." And so Karen said, "You've got to find." I said, "I can't change doctors until open enrollment." So,
well, how
open
enrollment is usually every month, isn't it?
Do what?
Open enrollment, isn't that every month?
No, not on. See, I'm on Medicare, and so
are you on Medicaid or Medicare?
Medicare.
How do you, Darlene? You're a lot younger than me, and I don't get on Medicare until I'm 65.
Disability.
Okay, so they let you on Medicare when you're on disability.
Yes, because they consider me totally disabled. Which, like I tell people, I said, if you see me on YouTube, you'd think nothing in the world's wrong with her. And you know, there's some days, like for past couple of days, I've been in bed and couldn't hardly move just from trying to help my husband bathe our dog. But he's a big dog. And then we took him to the vet, and all I did was sit in the back of an open Jeep and make sure he didn't jump out. But when I tell you his name's Tiger, and I made a joke, I said, yeah, you don't know nothing till you grab a tiger by the tail. He flat wore me and my husband out. So, you know, I tell people, you just don't know by looking at somebody what is wrong.
Because don't know that. We don't know other people's stories. And so I'm always very slow in my judgment of other people because we don't remember, people are never as they first appear, good or bad. They're never as they first appear. And, you know, I did a video on that too. I haven't put it up yet, but people are never as they first appear. And, you know, we never really know what's going on behind the scenes in people's lives. I want to ask y'all a question. Has anyone ever had this situation where at night when you go to bed, you are laying on one side and it gets blocked in your nose? You go and lay on the other side and it gets blocked.
Yep.
And what was it? What was it, Darlene?
What?
Oh, well, I was just asking that question if anybody ever had that, because I know somebody that's going through that. And I wonder.
I've had my nose broke twice, in which can't tell because I have a little, you know, I have a small nose. It's probably the only reason my glasses stay up now. Yeah, I had the roughest time as a kid because I had such a small nose that always run down. But anyway, so it seems like everything, Diana, drains to the right side of my face and nose.
Yeah. So what was it?
They don't know.
Did it go away?
No, I still have it. My ear, that ear hurts, or you know.
So when you go to bed, it still does it.
Yeah.
And so does it wake you up in the middle of the night or anything because you can't breathe?
No, because, you know, I have that adjustable bed now, so I have to lay sleeping up a little bit more sometimes.
Yes.
But you guys, I did stop my, she's talking about dairy. I did stop when we first started this diet because I was doing cereal bars and the shake, not cereal bars, the small bars they give you. It's kind of portion control. But anyway, so I stopped eating the tubs of yogurt I was eating. Now I get the non-fat yogurt and I only put them in with my shakes. So, but I'm telling you, I got on those what is it? The Greek yogurt with like the honey Greek yogurt.
Now, they have non-dairy yogurt out there. It's made like from almond milk. I don't do dairy. I don't do meat. I don't do, I sometimes do fish. I do whole vegetables. Processed food is completely out. I don't do processed food.
Amen, Neville. And what's so bad?
Hey, Neville.
He said most people think if they can't see your disability, they don't believe you have one.
Right.
And yes, there's times that we call it Pat falling off the wheel is what, we gave that hamster running on a wheel a name, me and Dwayne did. And there's sometimes it's embarrassing that I forget words or I forget names. And then I start panicking because I'm embarrassed. And that's part of whatever's wrong with me. If my blood pressure drops, I can't think. Oh, but I did start almond milk. Good morning, Bougie Bear.
I do almond milk. I do, and the other thing is, I do not do any form of hydrogenated. People think that canola oil is good for them because it's canola. I would not touch canola oil. I only use olive oil, coconut oil, walnut oil, pure oil, because the rest of it, do you know that margarine, go look it up on the internet. Margarine was originally designed for cars. It was what they put in cars. And so in the 1930s, this man who owned, an oil company decided he wanted to find other ways to make money with that oil. And so he created margarine, which was originally called oleo.
Oh, yeah, I remember when it was called that.
Oleo. And I grew up calling it oleo. I still call it oleo. And but oleo was really car oil, and they just repackaged it. And so a lot of people with fibromyalgia don't understand why they, matter of fact, I have no fibromyalgia, but if I eat margarine in any form, hydrogenated oils, I all of a sudden get fibromyalgia symptoms. So I don't touch it.
I haven't been using butter or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think blueberries are good for.
Blueberries are wonderful.
I think they're good for arthritis and symptoms like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I am the first thing of all of almond milk that my sister-in-law brought by, and she said, "You'll love this in your shakes." I promise. Well, I tasted of it. It was sugar-free vanilla almond oil, and I'm almond milk. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. But I started using it anyway. And I'm like, okay, this ain't so bad. And then I could just, because I'm not a big milk drinker anyway. So then I could go, nobody else wants it. So I'll drink out of the carton sometimes. I won't lie. If I'm the only one that's going to drink it. And then they didn't have the unsweet. So I'd end up getting the sweetened almond milk. And oh my gosh. I know Bougie Bear says she's been saying almond milk. I know you and Karen both, but I got the sweetened, and it's still, the calories wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. And I said, Karen, it's like drinking a melted ice cream. I said, it is so good. And I said, so you told me so. April told me so. Bougie Bear, she told me so.
Darlene, I've got to go. I'm going to go do my 5-mile run before it gets too hot here. And but I wanted to come on. You are so amazing. You are so wonderful. We all love you. We love your channel. We love what it's about. We love that you give everyone a place to come and have comfort and lay down their burdens or share their joys. You allow people to do that. And you are amazing. And we love you, love you, love you.
I love you too, Diana.
Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a great day and a great week.
Oh, that's me. Hey, Will. Hey, Will. Good morning. Good morning. I said this morning, I said, oh, my background, April, I need one of those things like Casey gave you. to put behind me so you guys won't see what looks like a Hoarderville behind me. One of those screens. But yeah, you guys, that's just come in. Traci did good with the first surgery. She had to have her spinal simulator taken out. Hey, Elizabeth, my girl. And so anyway, she had to have that removed, and it was a tricky thing to do because to pull up, they didn't want to hurt the spinal cord because it is a spinal cord stimulator. So she's sore today, didn't sleep good last night, but her next surgery is next Monday coming up, and that one is to replace and put her a stimulator. So prayers for her, you guys. I'm praying that once she gets this new one in place, that she won't be in so much pain, and we'll get our singing Traci back. And Denise, you guys, Father's Day was rough because I asked her how the kids were doing because Father's Day, the first time without their dad. Will, I'm not sure if you know, but Denise's husband, he passed this year. I mean, it was a very sudden, unexpected thing. So, Denise is trying to get back. Her health was bad, and she's trying to get back to us, and she will. And then we have another sister I call. I call her sister, and I can't name her name because the family has asked not to. And when she first went in the hospital, but she is one of our sisters, well known, and I popped the cat's head because she shouldn't even be coming over here. But she is still in the hospital. She's really, really fighting for her life. Her daughter might still have her earbuds in, listening. Dwayne calls her Thunder from Down Under. And last week when I was on, she did say, her daughter heard her say, who let Dwayne out of the corner? And anybody knows MawMaw used to put Dwayne in the corner all the time. So that let me know that she's still with us. She's just fighting to get her body back strong enough. And I wish I could tell you guys her name, but I can't. So just keep our fellow sister and her children in your prayers. And that God knows who you'll be praying for. He knows. This morning, Lizz, when we did a FaceTime, Lizz was just going to bed. So Lizz was going to bed. And you guys, it's okay. I'm up here by myself. And I think Sandy was up earlier with me. And then Diana jumped up. And that's okay. That's okay. Because the biggest thing that God laid on my heart was to give a place for you guys to, share your burdens, you guys, a prayer request. And also one of our people told me for me to come on. Norga's come back and let your YouTube family be your backbone and help you, which touched my heart because I feel like I'm supposed to be here for you guys. And it always works out that you guys touch my heart. Will, Casey is working. He is in tech support again. That's helping people with their Apple phones or devices but yet the company that he's working for is contracted out. So it's different when he did it before. He doesn't have the tools that he needs to help these people. So he gets very frustrated because you know, Casey likes to be, he's good at his job and he wants to be able to help the people, and it's like his hands are tied. Oh, Hetty, thank you. Hetty, I feel better, and thank you, Monique. I feel better once I get on here. It's sometimes just if my head don't feel right or my body's hurting, I just can't sit in here. Yes, Will. Will, that would be like you helping doing somebody's installing cable without your tools, and you have to call somebody and say, well, I need you to do this. No, he likes to just do it. He does, but God blessed him with the job once MawMaw was gone. I told him, I said, don't worry about it. You're taking care of MawMaw. I said, God will provide a job. So he did. It wasn't long after MawMaw died that Casey got a job. And that's how God works. I honestly believe that. But like I said, Traci, we're going to get through this. We are. I say we. Because, there's a scripture about the different, but, we're all the hands and the legs and all that. We're all part of each other. Yes, Monique, in God's perfect timing. Keep me, you guys, in your prayers. Friday, I have 2 funerals to go to. Kevin's aunt's husband, which he's been sick, and he's up in age. And then my niece, Elizabeth. I don't know if you ever knew Nikki, but my niece Nikki died of complications from drug abuse. She was in the bathtub and drowned. And I know YouTube might not let ads play on this or whatever because of the topic, and I don't really care. But yes, she was a heroin addict. She tried to fight it in and out of rehab and everything, and she didn't make it. I think she's 38 because Tiffany is 36. Yeah. So, she fell over when she was in the bath and drowned. She's had a tragic life. She's tried to fight it. She's been in now jail. She's been in prison. She just tried. And I still remember the little girl that used to play with Tiffany, the little girl that I have pictures of, so many pictures, camping with us and Christmases, and and she's been on the street since she was 12. So Tiffany's doing good. She's in a good Christian rehab place. And she doesn't get phone calls, but she got to call her daddy and tell him Happy Father's Day. But then that happened. Yes, may she have peace with the Lord now. And I know she is. So I called the place Tiffany's at and I asked, how do I handle this? Do we not tell her? Do we tell her? Should you guys do it while she's there? And, they kind of got together about it. The counselors got together and decided how to do it. So one of the women that Tiffany really thinks a lot of, because she says she's got red hair, and Tiffany said, and Mom, she has the light of the Lord on her face like you. So when I got that call from Heather, she said, we can tell her, but I feel like maybe if she hears it from you with us in the room with her on speakerphone, and that's how I did it. And of course, they had a love-hate relationship, just like siblings, do. She hated the first time she saw Tiffany in a drug house. She was angry, very angry, because she said Tiffany didn't grow up like her. She didn't belong on the streets. Well, she didn't either, but she didn't think of herself. She didn't value who she was. And God loved her just as much as he does anybody else. So she would really be snippy at Tiffany out on the streets, on the drug streets. And I explained it to Tiffany why she was like that. And yes, Monique, that's judgment. But I was able to do my morning, I guess you call it. And then I told Tiffany, the next day. But I'm going to read what Tiffany put on the back. See, we do a lot of letters because we can't get on the phone. But I did tell Tiffany, I said, baby, beat this. Because this is our third family member to pass away from drug-related issues. From those kind. So I told her, you've got to do it. You're doing wonderful. You are doing so wonderful. Just keep going. But on the 14th, Tiffany wrote on the back of one of my letters. I did show my address, didn't I? I forgot about that. It's Psalms 118. How did I choose that one? I thought I had another one on there. Well, undoubtedly, that's what God wanted, was for that one. But Psalms 118, 5 and 17, verses 5 and 17. It says, in my distress, I prayed to the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free. Verse 17 says, I will not die. Instead, I will live to tell what the Lord has done. So, her sending this letter with those two specific verses, I really, like I told her, I said, do this. And that way you can tell other people what you went through. Don't be that next statistic. I said, baby, I can't handle that. I said, you're there with people that love you. And she said, I am, Mama. These people are so good. I said, yes. I said, so she's got 9 months. It is a 9-month program. And I believe people need that time. They do. They need that time. She's got a lot of things to work through. She feels guilt by staying away from me so long. She misses the family. She misses me and Casey and her daddy. Of me and her watching movies. There's so much. She's remembering she's at the person she was. And I told her, I said, we're still going to have the movie days. And she told me that she prayed. It was Sunday at church. She said, Mama, she said, it was like God told me in my ear, you will hear your children's laughter. You will see your children. And she said, Mama, I cried and I laughed and I had tears. She said, but I was laughing and rejoicing because God said, I will see and hear my children. And that was in a letter. And anytime I get upset about my grandchildren, I get a piece that says a little bit longer. So I tell Tiffany, just a little bit longer. They have not forgotten you. They have not forgotten you. And I said, you let God love you. You love God back. And you guys, she's getting baptized July 4th. And I pray I get pictures. I can't be there. I wish I could. But she's getting baptized. She was baptized as a child and saved. But sometimes in life, you have to wash away. Yeah, I know. Look, yeah, it is. Denise A., I could tell in my lower right back. When I start doing this, you guys, that's when it's almost time to wrap up. But there's nothing wrong with getting baptized again. I think more people should. If you've been through so much in your life, just wash away all that and come out on the other side. Yeah. And I rejoice that that's what she decided. But you guys heard me talking to the people, but they said Tiffany is okay, that she will be okay. But you guys, I would tell her that you guys are praying for her, and I will send the love. I know I have gotten emails from some people about, her, and you guys always ask me how she's doing. So yes, God is blessing her. God is blessing me because of her. And you guys, I can't make promises of tomorrow, and I will try to be back on tomorrow. I will try my best. And you guys, thank you for the love. Thank you for the companionship that you guys give me. Believe me, I feel like you guys give me much more than I give you. So I'm going to read this scripture because I just don't know. All right. You guys see that? Let me put it up here. Denise A., her son needs surgery. And you guys, anytime if you need a prayer request or, you want to send anything, you can email me, send it through Facebook. I almost said Marketplace. No. Messenger. Okay, Psalms 46:5. God is within her. She will not fall. God will help her at break of day. Hey, that's me and that's you guys. God will help all of you. He is there. He's there for us. When you wake up and now I see the sun shining on the leaves outside the window. Beautiful. Somewhere today, I will. Mr. Chicken's Knees, that's her husband. And they are going to be adopting 3 children, family. So you guys keep that in your prayers as well for Denise. But find something today, something God created that you see it and you're like, how can people not believe? Look at this. Even if it is Yeah, that's a weed, but a vine growing up tall outside my window. But do you know what? God made that, and the green of that is just beautiful. Beautiful. You know, he was the first artist. So we have to look at what he created sometimes and just say, no matter how our day's going, you know, God, thank you for this beauty. Thank you. And that's something Tiffany has written me. She said, Mom, I sit on that front porch. They get 30 minutes. They get 30 minutes of quiet. They don't talk to each other. The first 30 minutes of the morning is their time to reflect. That's what she calls a reflection time. And she goes and sits on the front porch. Yes, they're in the country, on the front porch. And she says, Mom, I sit there and I look around and I thank God for the beauty in the sunrise. I thank God for all the beauty and for me being well. She said, Mom, I go to bed happy. She said, I can't remember last time I could go to bed and be the smile on my face. And she said, it's amazing what he's doing for me here. So, yes, Monique, I am overjoyed. And I'm not overjoyed to go to the store, but I am. And I know I have to cut this off, and I'm trying to think of a way to do it, but I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And, you know, I'll pray for you guys. And you guys, I don't even have to say, I know that you guys pray for me. You guys have been what has been my strength. And until tomorrow, whatever day tomorrow will be, I will see you then. Much love to you guys.